Hello viewers, today we're going to be cleaning this Haier Serenity Series air conditioner. This is the end of the season cleaning. Somewhat to my annoyance, it's absolutely filthy. And I think what's happening is bugs are getting in there because the window sits right here, right? And at nighttime there's light in the room, so the bugs come to the window. They come to the window and then they go in there and then they get all over the coil. Because the old ones that don't have an opening on the top are all clean. So what the heck? So now we got to clean it. So just to show how many hours are on the thing, the indoor coil is much cleaner. I don't think I ever cleaned the filter the whole season. So this is all the dust that we got. It needs to be clean, but it's not crazy. This did put a lot of hours in. This started off in the kitchen in July, and then it ran through September. I moved it into the bedroom after it started to get real hot. Put a vintage unit in the kitchen because it works better, and then I put this in the bedroom and ran a lot at night, and it did a good job. It was a good machine. So let's clean it out, and we're going to put it away for the year. Hopefully if we keep it clean, it will continue to operate for years to come. I have my doubts, but we'll see. We'll give it the best chance that we can by keeping everything clean. Now this does have the drain hole, and we'll get into that in a minute. I don't remember exactly how this comes apart. I have taken it apart once on video. I should have gone and watched the video first. Right. Not even that late. It's only 4 o'clock. I guess he must be getting hungry for dinner. What's going on here? Yeah, I guess this does have to come off. Well, past the point of no return. Okay. Not good. try taking these curtains off first and see if that cuts us in more. These are fairly clean on the outside as well, so I don't think that we need to clean those at all. These didn't get too much sun exposure, but they still seem to be okay. How they would fare in direct sunlight, I don't know. Probably not well. Alright, we got some more screws here. Well, it still feels secured at the top here, so we're going to have to just force this off because I don't have any other options. Gotta be a tab or something here somewhere that would release it. Here it is. This does nicely disconnect, which is pretty cool. So this is clean. There's no mold or anything on there, so I'm not going to worry about washing that. No reason to. Let's check for rust and mold and any undesirables inside the unit here, inside the front. Fan looks pretty clean. Don't see any signs of mold in there. Coil's pretty clean. I actually don't see many signs of rust other than that one screw looks pretty bad, but otherwise, yeah, it's pretty good. A little bit of rust down there at the bottom, but that's about it. So, interestingly, this is faring pretty well. That's surprising. Alright, let's get into the back. That's where the dirt is. Okay, so couple of issues here that are developing, and I think I know what the problem is. So, coil is fairly clean, although it's well, it looks fairly clean, right? But it's not. It's actually quite dirty. So we got to get in there and clean that off. There is some rust starting at the bottom. I think what's happening is the rainwater is getting in here, because no condensation water is, because that's the condensation thing right there. And I drilled a hole in that pathway. So there is absolutely no condensation water getting in there. So what I need to do is add another hole back here, such that if it rains and water gets in there from the rain, it'll go out. That's what I need to do. So there's the hole. So we got to do that. But before I do that, I need to take this apart a little further. I want to slide the fan out. I'm going to take the whole fan out and get the shroud off there so we can clean the coil. Ugh. All spider webs and trash in there. It looks like if we unwrap this, which is kind of a weird way to hold the cord, and get the fan out. Not a lot of slack on the cord though. Well, we know that at least this screw is going to have to come off. And the same screw, or actually there's two other screws on the other side here. And now there's 4 screws holding the fan mount on to the bottom. So we'll take those off, and we'll take off these 2 screws up there. These are machine screws, which is nice. Now we should be able to take this off. Oh, it's going to be a little pesky. It's going to have to tilt backwards and then go forwards while still being tilted backwards. That's what it looks like. Yep. Which poses a pretty good risk to the condenser, but that's the stupid design. The tabs have got to get pressed in here on the side for that to go up. No such tabs on the other side. It's getting stuck on the screw thing there. I'll just pull it off. It's fine. Now this is where things are going to get flaky, because now we have to get this nut off of here in order to release this stupid piece. And there's no real good way to do that. Maybe you can turn this and sit it on top of the coil like that, which is a little risky, but we're going to take the risk. So now we got to get that blade off, which is a little too big for that. And a little too small for that. And way too small for that. It looks like there's some kind of thread locking material on this nut, so this might not come off easily. Nope, that's not true. Came off easily. Now, will the blade itself come off easily? It did. I'm surprised. Okay, so that all came off fairly easily, which is surprising. So I'm going to go ahead and I'd like to actually remove the motor, because it's not ideal for it to be sprayed with water and cleaners, but they're not making that easy. I guess kind of just keep it up there like that for cleaning. So here you can see what 1 year of dirt looks like. I don't know why it's this bad, but this is just 1 year of operation. And this is with it dry. If there was all that water from the condensation in there, this would be 10 times worse. Not good. This almost should have been cleaned halfway through the season, I guess. Alright, so now I'm going to remove the screws for the condenser so that I can kind of pick it up while cleaning and get all the dirt out from underneath, because that's important to do. I guess that can just sit like that. I don't think it's gonna cause any problems. It's not ideal, but I guess it should be okay. Now as I clean this, I can just pick it up a little bit and spray water into there and get it cleaned out. Okay, now we're going to move outside and we're going to drill another drain hole, and then we can do some cleaning. Okay, it's clean now. Okay, you can see through the coil again. Everything inside's pretty clean. Cleaned up pretty much to like new, so I'd expect it to work like new next year. So let's reassemble. I did add a second hole, as you saw in the video, or hopefully you saw in the video. Admittedly, I didn't check the camera angle. I had the drill in here. I got the second hole in the lowest part of the machine, so now when it rains, if water gets in there, it should drain out. Because you want to keep it dry. The reason why it cleaned out so easily is because it was all dry dust and bugs and whatever. Also, the reason why there's no rust is because it's been kept dry. There's people that rant and rave about how it's so much more efficient when the water's in there, blah blah blah. And that might be true, but if it rusts the unit out to the point where it leaks out of charge, well, it don't really matter to me. It ain't no good if all the charge is leaked out. It's useless. Duh. Alright, so now we gotta put this fan back on. Trying to think, how did I do this? I think I just balanced this on here like that, and then there is a flat side of the blade that has to align with the flat side of the shaft. How the heck did I do this? Over here more. I just aligned it. Well, maybe not perfectly. There we go. Oh, this is stupid. There's oil on the shaft, which is good. That's why the blade came off so easily. I'll tighten it a little bit, nothing too crazy. It wasn't that tight before. Okay. Now we gotta try to slip the whole thing back on, which I feel like that's gonna propose a challenge. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Now the motor mount is kind of finicky. There are tabs that you have to line up. There's this tab that fits in that slot, and then the motor edges of it sitting there. But it has to be tilted back a considerable amount in order to fit over the tabs. So it's almost like this would be better done without the shroud attached, but that's impossible. I feel like I might end up just cutting those tabs off one of these years if this thing ends up lasting a while and I have to service this multiple times. I think I'm just going to cut those tabs off because I don't see what purpose they serve other than to annoy the user while he or she attempts to service the machine. And I do believe that that kind of stuff is built into the design, because the company wants you to just throw it out and buy a new one next year. But I'm not doing that. I'm going to use the same one year after year. Alright, that fit in. That wasn't too bad. I just detached it from the left side here, and that seemed to give it enough space to move around. Alright, so it's good. It's attached. Let's get them screws in here. Yes, everything is still wet. No, we're not going to put it away that way. Once I have everything reassembled, we're going to turn the machine on, turn the compressor on, let everything get hot, heat up, dry out, and then because the evaporator will get wet during operation, we're going to change it to just fan and let it run for a long time. And then we'll call it winterized and we can put it back away. Well, I have to say, so far, well, things could take a turn as we assemble here, but so far, this has been pretty easy to work with. And while there are an awful lot of screws, everything does come apart enough to be able to reach it pretty well. Which is kind of unusual by today's standards. Okay, that's that. It's back together. It's clean. And it should be ready to operate for many years to come, I hope. I will clean the filter. This I'm not putting back on. These 4 screws go with that. I guess I'll just put them back so that they don't get lost. So I'll clean the filter, I'll wipe the top of this off, and it's going back in the box for the winter. So therefore I'm not putting these back on, I'm not putting this back on. Alright, it's clean. That was pretty easy to clean compared to some of these units made today. I'm actually pretty happy with the way that comes apart and goes together. I think not having all the rust in there is extremely beneficial, which is thanks to the drain hole. And hopefully it will last a long time if you keep it clean, keep it dry, and keep it serviced.